Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to reading for, this is for the week of September 16th. We are going to jump right in here. You have this skill card and this wholeness card. I feel a lot of you are using your skills here, Taurus. And here you go, your very first card. The Magician is your hidden talents, gifts, skills, and abilities. So a lot of you could be using skills to just improve your life or to feel more whole. You have that wholeness card, so you could be looking to, feel more fulfilled in life. Or you could be trying to feel more like you're more effective in life, and that definitely could be happening for you. The Magician is pointing down to the Three of Cups. It is a really good time, I feel, for Taurus to be like working with other people. So if you happen to be, working with other people, then, your skills could really be very helpful in those, group situations. And, again, this reading definitely seems to me like it's focusing on you, kind of using your skills in a group or a group of people or to help a group of people. And, that's definitely kind of popping up here. But let's see what we have for you. You have the Magician, the Ten of Wands, and the Nine of Swords. I would definitely say with the Ten of Wands and the Nine of Swords that the Magician is saying make sure you're using the right tool for the job. The Ten of Wands and the Nine of Swords is like beating your head against the wall, more or less. It would represent doing things the hard way. But the Magician has mastery all over all of these suits. He also has this snake right here. It's the Ouroboros. It's a snake eating its own tail, and it represents reinvention or making a change. So I feel for a lot of you that if you're trying to improve your finances or work or anything work related, that picking the right tool for the job is going to be important. It could also say that you do have the right tools for the job, but you're just not using them in the best way possible. So I would make sure that you're, again, being like efficient. I think efficiency is kind of one of those key words over the next like 10 years or so that we really need to pay attention to. And so I keep encouraging people to like really pay attention to what's working in work and business especially, but all areas of your life, your love life, your business life, spiritual life, everything. And as long as you're being efficient, then you will be successful. If you're doing this right here, the Ten of Wands, if you're carrying too many responsibilities, if you're doing too much, then you're probably going to be sinking in the mud, right? And so the Ten of Wands, he kind of has to see the forest through the trees. Personally, I like the Ten of Wands, but intuitively in this reading, I kind of feel that some of you are not looking at something important. He has those wands in front of his face, so he can't see how close he is to his goal here, but he might be moving very, very slowly. Like, he is very close to his goal, but at the same time, like, maybe he could put some of those wands down, run to his house, right, in the background there, have a little bit of a harvest, then he could go run back and just grab a couple more wands and then run back to the house. Like, there might, it's popping into my head that there might be a more efficient way to do things. Sometimes I think when we want to do a lot in life that we think like, oh, I have to do all of this all at once. And I kind of get that feeling for you here, Taurus, where it's saying you don't have to do everything at once. You can do one thing at a time and then go back and do the other project or the other idea. You can do it later. And I feel like this is saying like focusing on one thing at a time will be much more efficient. Normally I wouldn't say that with the Ten of Wands because he's very, very close to his home. So he's about to have a harvest. But again, I read intuitively, and intuitively I feel this is saying like you need to do like one thing at a time. You have the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is like a never-ending nightmare. He's gone to bed, had a nightmare, he's woken up, he's stuck in a nightmare. And so for a lot of you, I kind of feel this is talking about repeat mistakes. And so I actually do feel it would be a good time for you to look back at the past and the mistakes you've made. And it's not to live in the past. You're just doing this so that you don't make the mistakes again, right? And so I kind of feel like the Nine of Swords is encouraging you to, look at mistakes you've made and just don't repeat them again, right? Let's see. With the Magician, you have the Five of Wands. You go from the Five of Wands down to the Five of Wands. Five of Wands is conflict and competition. And so the Five of Wands can say that you're dealing with competition, or, maybe you have a job that's in a competitive field, or you have a business that is competitive. And really, the Magician says you don't have to take part in the competition. You can, there might be a way that you can present yourself where you do things like completely different And because of that, you make yourself unique, and then there is no competition. I don't really have any good, I don't really have any good examples to give you other than YouTube. But it's like I've seen it happen many, many times where it's like, tarot, for example, is very competitive, right? There's a ton of tarot readers now, but like every once in a while, someone will come along and they'll do it in a completely different, unique way, and it's like they kind of rise above the competition because they're just doing things in a different way. And I get that feeling for you here, where it's like doing something different, could be very helpful. You have the Seven of Swords. That's why I'm saying this. Seven of Swords, he's going to war, but he's stealing those swords from the army in the background. He's not going directly to war. And I feel like the secret here with this reading is to, find a better way to do whatever you're doing. With the Ten of Wands, you have the Ace of Pentacles. Here's the other thing as well. I think there could be a big opportunity in front of you that is not the Ten of Wands. It's like maybe you think, oh, I have to work 80 hours a week to make a bunch of money, but there could be like another opportunity that exists that's coming in for you where you don't, where you can make a bunch of money and not have to work 80 hours a week. So, I would be open to opportunities. Again, he's so focused on the work that he's doing on the Ten of Wands that he's not seeing other opportunities that could exist. And I definitely feel that with this Ace of Pentacles. So, I would pay attention to new opportunities. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Six of Wands. Six of Wands, a card of a victory or success coming in for you. So I do feel that there could be some sort of victory coming in. I like that you are getting the Six of Wands on the Nine of Swords. It would kind of say that you are getting over yourself, right? The Nine of Swords, he is very self-focused. He is only focused on his situation, right? Six of Wands is being successful, and so I kind of feel like you are, it's almost like, I don't want this to come off the wrong way, Taurus, but it's like you are overcoming your own situation, and, you're kind of rising above it, and that could be leading to a lot of success for you. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this trust card and this impulse card. I feel like you need to trust your impulses. It's funny you have that Ten of Wands, and then you go to the Eight of Cups. There might be an impulse that you should make a change, and maybe you've done a bunch of work on something, and you could be walking away from a bunch of work that you've already done. But sometimes that's what we have to do, Sometimes we learn through doing something that we think we want to do, like starting a business or, getting a new job or whatever. And we learn through the process, but then our next step is to do something completely different. So you might have an impulse this week to walk away. You have the Eight of Cups right here. And the Eight of Cups would be walking away from something that no longer serves you. So a lot of you could be walking away from something that isn't fulfilling. He's walking away from these 8 cups because there's like a missing cup right here. And he is just on a journey to find total fulfillment. And so I feel, and by the way, we have an eclipse on Tuesday, and this is the only card in the tarot that has an eclipse on it right here. So for a lot of you, you might be walking away from something during this eclipse, and it could be anything. I kind of feel like it's something you've been working on with the Ten of Wands because it's just too much work. And also, the other thing I will say is that you don't necessarily have to quit. You could just be reinventing something. You could be, with the Seven of Swords, you could be finding a better way to do whatever it is that you're doing. So if you're working on a project, this doesn't necessarily mean you're like completely quitting. You could just be, again, finding a better way. You have the Three of Cups. I do feel this is kind of like how you could find a better way is through other people. Three of Cups is your community. You also have the Five of Wands. And again, Five of Wands is conflict or competition. But sometimes I feel that the Five of Wands says you should be studying the competition. You should be looking at what the competition is doing. And you don't have to take part in the competition, but there's nothing wrong with like learning from the competition and seeing what they're doing and then, applying what you learned for yourself, right? And so I think that would be a good thing for you to do this week, especially for those of you in work or business, if you have a business or if you do something for yourself. I think that, it will help you people the most. It also seems to be like a very social time. So I feel there could be a lot of benefits in socializing, especially for those of you looking for answers or, if you're trying to improve your life in some way. I kind of feel being with other people could help you the most. You have the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is about being bold, being assertive, really going for what you want. I think it's interesting that you go up to the Queen of Swords, you have the Page of Wands, which would represent kind of like a fresh start or starting a new adventure. The Queen of Swords is looking over to the Wheel of Fortune. And so by you being bold and assertive and really going for something this week, you could be gaining a lot of clarity on your destiny The Wheel of Fortune, I always say, I think the Wheel of Fortune is a little bit too much. Like some people make it out to be more than it actually is, right? But it is your destiny, how you see it. It is your personal vision for your life. And so the Queen of Swords would say you're getting clear on your personal vision for your life. With the Eight of Cups, you have the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, getting to work. And he's doing one thing. Notice how he is only working on one thing, right? I'm telling you right now, I would definitely say that this is a week where, kind of like focusing in your work and only working on one thing, not 100 things, would be very beneficial. And the other thing is that if he looks up at what he has accomplished, he will realize that he's actually accomplished a lot more, a lot faster than he thought. So, the whole point of the Eight of Pentacles is that when you focus on one thing, working on one thing at a time, that you actually get things done a lot faster. And I definitely feel that on that Eight of Pentacles. With the Three of Cups, you have the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is being spoiled for choice and having a lot of options. And you have the Ten of Wands. I kind of said this on the Ten of Wands at the beginning. It's like you have a lot of options, or you're doing a lot with that Ten of Wands. But there are good things and bad things in these cups on the Seven of Cups. And I feel like you need to focus on like what exactly you want out of life and kind of like make it happen. You also have two sevens here. So two sevens, and two sevens can represent internal fears that don't exist. So definitely a good time to overcome your fears. With the Queen of Wands, yes, you have the Fool, new beginning, a fresh start, everything I just said on that Page of Wands. So I feel for a lot of you, you're about to take some sort of leap of faith in a new direction, especially if you're doing too much with that Ten of Wands. I think it's definitely saying you're simplifying your life, or you're simplifying your work. Next, you have this renewal and rebirth. This is coming up in messages from your future self. And you also have this alchemy and creation card. So two cards, that didn't work. Two cards of alchemy and creation, kind of in rebirth. So a lot of you could be renewing yourself, or you could be focusing on renewal. You have the Seven of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and the Five of Wands. I would be careful of some sort of conflict this week. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, like it's popping into my head. If you have a troublemaker in your energy, or if there's a person who has caused trouble in your life in the past, you might, like if you know a person like that, I would avoid them this week. For some of you, this might be unavoidable, and I would just say, like, don't. The Five of Wands really says don't take part in the conflict. So again, if someone's trying to cause a conflict, I would just avoid it and, kind of like ignore it as much as you possibly can. The Seven of Swords, though, the Seven of Swords is really a good card. Golden cards in the tarot are meant to be positive no matter what. And so the Seven of Swords says there might be an outcome that you could create. So if you are dealing with a conflict this week with a person, then the Seven of Swords says there might be like another way to solve the problem, or there also might be a way to get ahead of the problem. Again, he is stealing those swords from that army that's in the background so that they can't be used against him in battle the next day. So it's all about like solving a problem before it turns into a problem. And again, if you feel that there's a conflict, or if you're dealing with a conflict right now, if you think about it and take some time to strategize, there might be a way for you to solve the problem before it even becomes a problem. And that's the whole point of the Seven of Swords. I kind of feel, though, having said that, that you are focused on your own life. The Queen of Swords, she only has clouds halfway up her body, and she is seeing her future here, clearly, her future life, or her personal vision for her life. She is seeing it clearly for the first time. So I feel that you are gaining a lot of clarity on your, quote-unquote destiny, and, this could be a good thing. You have the Five of Wands. I would still, even though there could be a conflict, I would still learn from competition. So if you have a business or a career, looking at your competition and seeing what they do that you don't do might be very, very helpful, or might be very beneficial for you. You could learn a lot, or you could discover some new ideas, or you could discover better ways of doing things, right? Let's see. With the Seven of Swords, you have the Three of Wands, expansion. So a lot of expansion. I feel that probably for the next 20 years, you're probably going to get this card with me every single reading, the Three of Wands. Three of Wands is a card of expansion and growth. Three of Wands wants us to expand and grow. So I feel for a lot of you that focusing on expansion is going to be a good idea. I also feel that if you pick one thing to focus on, that it will be very expansive. With the Queen of Swords, yes, are you kidding? You have the Judgment card, your purpose, right? So a lot of you could be discovering your purpose at this time, which is pretty powerful. We do have this eclipse this week, so I'm wondering, if this eclipse is triggering something in you, or, triggering an idea or a thought that, could lead to this new journey. We go here to the Page of Wands in the Wheel of Fortune, and so it's kind of like that something is, getting you on your path to your destiny, or whatever you want to call it. So, like I said, pretty powerful stuff. With the Five of Wands, you have the Two of Wands. Again, Two of Wands is like rising above it, in a lot of ways. So rising above the conflict, if there is one. The Two of Wands can also say that conflict, and even inner conflict, could be leading you in a new direction. He is standing at the top of his castle, and he has a whole world in his hands. And the story of the Two of Wands is that he needs to get out into the world. He thinks he knows everything. He thinks that he knows every experience he possibly could have, but really he has a whole world in his hands. Yet there's so much more that he could experience if he leaves his castle. So I would definitely encourage you to explore the unknown. Next, you have this surrender. This moth spirit says surrender now. You have this mouse spirit says tend to the small things. I feel you need to surrender to yourself. It's like there are things that you clearly know that you need to do, or that you want to do, and I would kind of do those things. It could be a very detail-oriented time as well with that mouse spirit, doing the small things. I also kind of feel like you're overcoming something at this time. Mice chew through walls very slowly, so they make very slow progress, and I feel that if you have been making slow progress, that you're about to have a breakthrough. It's almost giving me the vibes that you're finally getting through the wall that you've been chewing through, and that's definitely what I feel on that mouse. You have the Page of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Devil. The Page of Wands is a fresh start, being excited for a new beginning. Page of Wands is all about following your enthusiasm. So if you're feeling enthusiastic or excited for a new beginning, then I would definitely move towards whatever that new beginning is. I feel it'll be very good for you. You have the Wheel of Fortune, again, your destiny, changing your fortunes. Showing up in the good stuff, this would be very fortunate. It would say that your fortunes are improving or your fortunes are changing at this time, which is great. You show up right here on the bottom corner of the Wheel of Fortune. So whenever you show up as yourself, it kind of puts you in a position of power and strength and allows you to get what you want from the reading. So that's good, but also could be an increase in your luck. You have the Devil. What's interesting to me as well is this Devil is showing up in the good stuff, which could be good. It could say you're cutting out, and you go from the Eight of Wands the Eight of Cups right here down. And so you could be cutting toxic things out of your life. But I do also feel that some of you could finally be seeing what is actually toxic in your life, and you could be cutting it out. So this could be a person, place, or a thing. But it's kind of funny. I feel like you've been having little nudges over the past few weeks that a person, a place, or a thing is toxic or isn't right for a situation, and you could be making a decision to cut whatever that toxic thing is out. And I kind of feel like the Devil is just saying this is the right choice. Here you go, with the Page of Wands, you have the Ace of Swords, cutting something out. The Ace of Swords cuts both ways. The Ace of Swords can be a victory or a success, of course, but, again, I kind of feel like you're removing something from your life with this Ace of Swords, and, again, it looks like a good choice. The other thing I want to say is that the Ace of Swords is a laser-like focus. This whole entire reading is saying you focusing in on accomplishing one thing at this time is going to lead to major success. If you're 10 of Wands, if you're too scattered, it's like those wands are in front of your face. You're not seeing what you need to do. With the Wheel of Fortune, you have the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles is normally juggling, but it is work hard, play hard. And in the good stuff, it could just say that you're having more fun or you're more focused on having fun at this time. With the Devil, you have the Knight of Cups. This could be like a knight in shining armor coming in for you, or it could be you meeting a new person if you want love, which is great. The other thing I would say is if you don't want love, that the Knight of Cups can be your dream. And so it could say that you're dreaming of your purpose. You have the Judgment card and the Wheel of Fortune, and you could be cutting things out so that you can manifest it. You have this rooster. It says an arrogant, boastful person. So again, I feel with that Devil, if you have a person in your life, it could be any area of your life, that could be the person that you're cutting out here. You have this vine. It says seek out information that will help you. Yes, I've been saying for 6 years now that we have to move a lot of dirt to get to the gold, right? I encourage people to dig for gold. Nothing is going to magically happen for you. If you want to improve your life, you have to do your research. You have to pick an area of your life you want to improve. There's 6 billion videos on YouTube. So if you search whatever area of your life you want to improve, learn something new, put it into practice, and you will improve your life. I'm living proof. Like, I fell on my head when I was 10 years old. I have ADHD, dyslexia, I have all these problems, but look what I've been able to do, right? And all I do is every single day I watch a video on YouTube about tarot, right? And I improve my tarot reading. So look at all the improvements I always make, right? And it's easy. It takes like 10 minutes every single day. So it's changed my life, and it's free. It doesn't cost any money. It costs like about 10 minutes a day, and that's it. And I highly recommend it. You have this tulip. It says great passion on it. I feel like you're becoming more passionate. Judgment in the Wheel of Fortune would be moving towards your passion. So definitely more passion. You have this rainbow. It says most difficult part of a situation is over. The mouse, right? It's like you've got you have, I almost just said chewed. You chewed through a wall, and now you're on the other side. I feel like you're overcoming an obstacle or having a breakthrough. You have this dark man, and you have 3 cards here. It says dealings with relationships with a man with dark complexion or hair. Then you have this horseshoe. It says good luck, and you have this December card. Definitely good luck coming in for you. I feel like now is a lucky time is what this is saying, between like now and December. That doesn't mean you're going to be unlucky after December. It just means there's maybe extra luck right now at this time that you should take advantage of. And so, again, I think that would be an amazing time to take risks or put yourself out there, or focus in on one project. That could be the risk you're taking, but it's like now is a lucky time, so you might as well do it now. But this looks really, really good, Taurus. I like it. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.